Boom. And we're live. Welcome back to Nudger's podcast, guys. Nudger. And with me is Mike. Now, what we're going to be chatting about today is classic films, but also their remakes. Was they any good or not? So,
Not most of them, no.
well, there's a few, maybe.
A few outliers, but we'll probably go over those.
Yeah, with any luck. I mean, where do you want to start with this?
Let's start with... Actually, let's start with... I know I've got a list, but just literally popped into my head.
Yeah.
Hills Have Eyes.
Okay, but yeah, bit of the... that was the inbreeding...
But the...
Inbred family.
In the original, they were like an inbred family that were based out in like the Nevada desert.
Yeah.
Loosely based on a historical Scottish cannibal family whose name escapes me at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that as well.
But yeah, it was. I think it's Wes Craven. I think it's Wes Craven's first movie.
Okay.
As a director. Yes, Wes Craven directed that, and yeah, it's fine. It's your normal mid 70s, mid to late 70s horror movie. Probably we'd watch it now and be like, yeah,
That's normal now. Yeah.
it's mild by some of today's standards. The remake came out a while ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it came out and it was again nice wholesome American family are in a camp at a trailer, not a trailer.
Yeah.
Winnebago, big Winnebago thing.
Mm-hmm.
Going through the Nevada desert, I think, through Death Valley, breaks down,
Yeah.
and then the family just rocks up. I tell you who's in the original, actually, who you might recognise. The guy he's quite famous for playing like weird looking dudes. He has alopecia. So alopecia, he plays like...
And he's got the big eyes.
He's got the big eyes, yes.
Yeah, I always remember that
Cannot
dude
think the dude's
for
name.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in that with Jack Nicholson.
Was he?
Yeah, he's in that as one of the mental... But so is Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
And there's actually quite a few mental patients because it was actually literally filmed in a mental asylum.
Oh, right, okay. Well, didn't know that.
But no, yeah, he's in it. He's possibly the only one I can really think of who's notable from that.
Right.
As with the remake, I don't know anybody from that
No,
movie.
I mean, to be honest, I did actually go and see the remake because at the time I was kind of seeing this bird and we'd go on a date to the cinema. It was her choice. That was the thing. So we went to see it and I was like, okay, sat there watched it. I was like, not really my thing, but okay. And then afterwards we went to the pub, had some drinks.
Yeah, I like my cheesy horror movies. The especially when they know they're bad. If they know they're bad and have fun with it, I think they're brilliant.
Peter Jackson, bad taste.
That's one. But I'm thinking things like one you haven't seen, but I know I have, and the acting in it is so Oscar-worthy bad. It's brilliant. It's called Rubber. No, it's not about that. It's
about a killer tyre.
That's the one. That's the one.
I have seen
and
it.
It's bless its heart. It knows what it is and it just runs with it. And
Yeah.
it's like, I love it. Anyway, next movie. So we'll jump to Friday the 13th.
Yeah. All right. A bit of Jason Voorhees. Why not?
The first Friday the 13th.
No, it was his mother.
Yes, it was Mama Voorhees.
Yeah, that's true. See, I
Mama
didn't know
Voorhees.
that. I know that.
Yeah.
I know my films. I've watched enough of them.
Yeah.
But
So that's the question that Drew Barrymore got wrong in the first Scream movie. And why she had to die.
good point. Good point.
No, so it's Mama Voorhees. Kevin Bacon's in that. I think that's one of his very first movies, and then he went obviously on to Footloose. Yes, I had to think about.
Yeah.
I nearly said Flashdance, but no.
It's similar. For some reason, I'm just thinking Deadpool doing that.
But no, he went on obviously Footloose and then da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, Kevin Bacon's first movie, he dies having a joint because remember in horror movies, kids, drugs are bad. Sex is bad.
Nudity
Drinking
is bad.
Yeah.
Anything is bad in horror movies.
Yeah.
80s ones, anyway.
You'd think more right-wing conservative people would be liking those horror movies because all the, all those things are bad and they die. But yeah, so Mama Voorhees played brilliantly. She obviously, the actress who played Mama Voorhees rocks up in her in what was it? I think she was maybe in her 60s, 70s when she appears in the Freddy vs. Jason movie.
Oh, right.
She reprises her role.
Okay.
And I think towards the end of her life, she popped up at a few cons, and anyone who was dressed as Jason immediately went and got a photo with her. Yeah, got a photo with Mum.
Nice.
Obviously, the re-release came out in, let me just check my notes, 2009.
Oh, wow.
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
Right.
Check that out. If it is, you might be able to find it on Amazon or something. Different streaming sites are available.
But also Netflix is different in different countries, unfortunately. Unless you get a VPN.
But notable stars in that, they changed, actually, before I go on notable stars, they changed Jason. So in the first one, we all know, Jason, it's Jason, kind of. You see Mrs. Voorhees die at more or less the beginning of the movie. Her head gets lopped off.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Voorhees, and that's played by Nana Visitor, who, if you're a Trekkie like me, plays Kira Nerys in DS9.
I did not know that. I'm not a Trekkie,
So she's in it, but she dies right at the beginning, head lopped off. And Jason sees this, but Jason in the remake they changed him into a hunter, so he's been living in the woods, hunting his food, and now he's hunting the kids who are at this camp. Whereas in the original, obviously, first it was Mama Voorhees, but in all the relevant sequels, he just plods along and stab, bang you against a tree in a sleeping bag, which was
he was for when it comes to killers in horror movies, he's one of the most inventive.
Is it the cop that just bends in half
Yeah.
the back way?
He just picks it up and just goes like a sandwich.
So you had Nana Visitor, and then who, as I say, played Kira Nerys in DS9.
Right.
And then you've got a fella who you might know if you watch Supernatural, Jared Padalecki. He's the taller of the two.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's the taller of the two.
For some reason, there was just one episode of Supernatural that always sticks out. The Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh, Scooby-Natural. It's a brilliant episode.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
But but those are the only two real stars in it, and there may be someone else. I honestly don't know. Comments.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments if you know who it was.
Yeah, and those are the really only ones. I don't think.
I didn't like. What was. It was Jason X, wasn't it?
The one in space. That's
yeah.
fun. Again, going back to my love of cheesy horror movies that know exactly what they are. That knew exactly what it was. And again, it's a soft place in my heart. I do like it. I do like him. I really do.
Well, that was Kane Hodder, wasn't it, when he was playing Jason?
Yeah, so many people have played Jason at different points.
Because I think when he dies in every movie, but I think it was 5 or 6 when he comes back. It's like all of a sudden Jason he's been lifting weights. Because he's just gained like about 30 pounds of pure muscle.
Was it? I can't remember which one it is, but one of the kills, as I say, inventive kills. Medical people or radiation specialists, anyone who knows this sort of thing, is this possible? He sticks a guy under the X-ray machine, the X-ray machine, and it just pins him there, and it keeps going, boom, 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 and eventually the guy just melts. I don't know if that one's possible. X-rays are again.
It would take a lot of.
It's a form of radiation.
Yes,
it's a form of radiation, but I'm guessing it would take a lot. There, it's more
thousands.
It's one of the more
probably.
harmless forms of radiation. Yes. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Well, it's not that harmless. The doctors still skidded away.
But yeah, they still go behind the bomb-proof shelter. Yeah, but it's still a. So it's not alpha rays. Those last the shortest, but are very devastating. And then you've got gamma rays, which everyone knows last forever.
Don't get you angry. You turn green.
If you're lucky. Anyone who's watched Chernobyl will probably know all of this. But X-rays, I don't know how bad they can be if for long exposure. Anyway, waffling on.
That's fine.
Sidetracked.
That's the point, isn't it? Just take our time. We're just gonna have a little chin wag. We'll talk about them.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, here we go. Right, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. So,
Originally billed for a horror movie, by the 90s was appearing in child sitcoms.
Was it? He turned up in Married with Children or something, did he? No, that was Robert Englund. He just turned up in.
Yeah, he played the devil. Yeah, but even then he couldn't. Al was just too screwed. There was no room in hell for Al because it was just too sad. So his life is worse than hell. Poor Al.
But yeah, Robert Englund, Johnny Depp, as everyone knows, Blood Fountain.
A lot of people don't realise that Johnny Depp was in the first night.
Only the second worst thing to happen to him in a bed.
And a lot of people wouldn't know this. There is actually somebody in the first Nightmare on Elm Street who was trained by Bruce Lee. The answer? John Saxon.
John Saxon, yes, I know you mean.
Who was in Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he plays Nancy's dad.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't know that. It's movie info that I like to retain. It's useless, but the whole point, when you think about Freddy Krueger, right? The whole purpose, or his story, his backstory, is supposed to be he was, I don't know if it was a child molester or a murderer.
That's where, so he was a child serial killer. He was a child killer.
Right.
Serial child killer. I can't remember how he gets away with it. Something about not enough evidence or something like that.
Yeah, he slips the net.
He slips the net. Parents
corner him in the boiler house.
In the boiler room. Burn it to his ground.
Right, and and basically he vows that he will haunt their children and their children's children, everyone of Elm Street, in their dreams forever. So that is the purpose behind Freddy Krueger. And it's like by, I think, number 4 or 5,
was it?
They started going more comedy.
3 is Dream Warriors?
Yes.
And then 4...
Dream Child.
Dream Child. That's where you kind of get some of his back.
Yeah, that's a bit of backstory. Then it was 3D, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3D. That was...
Oh, that was...
3D has never worked.
No.
I'm sorry, James Cameron and Avatar fans. When it's using the cameras, purpose built for that, absolutely works. But any other medium, 3D does not work. But yeah, that was weird. That's where you were jumping in and out of Freddy's life, and found out he was the son of 1,000 maniacs. His mum, who was a nurse, medical nun.
Yeah,
gets locked in a room over the weekend,
and molested by these.
Or over a week or something. She's raped. Horrible things happen to her. Obviously, overnight. Well, not overnight. I think it goes like a
couple of days. She gets locked in there.
She basically, the inmates hide her away. Every time someone comes and checks on them, but she's in the corner.
But the point is though, the fact that they end up turning him into a comedy element, so he's not so scary, which ruined it. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the effects were really terrible in them.
Third one, it's the third Dream Child's where they're in the kids' mental hospital.
Yeah,
the kids have got Lawrence Fishburne's in that.
Yes, he is. He plays one of the elderly. Yeah,
he's the orderly.
That's true.
When the kid just.
His puppet, yeah.
It's the one with me. Is it? No, is it Dream? Is that the one where the guy the?
Yeah, let's get high.
Yeah. Johnny Depp returns in that one.
No,
is it that one or one of the later ones? Basically, Johnny Depp turns up in one of the later Freddy sequels as Johnny Depp on TV doing, "This is your brain. This is your brain."
Right, yeah, I think I remember.
And then Freddy just comes on and wipes him out.
I think that's in 3.
3, maybe 4.
Where one of them's asleep.
Again, answers in the comments. My brain just can't.
Yeah.
It's one of them. They kind of all roll into one eventually. And then you had New Nightmare, where it was like...
Oh, Freddy Krueger's New Nightmare. Or Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Craven's New Nightmare, where he's out of the movie world. He's actually a vengeful spirit who's Wes Craven trapped in the movie world through his book.
And now he's free in the real world.
Free, and it's like, okay.
And everybody loves him. Because obviously everyone's seen the movies.
Yeah, because he
was,
see him walking down the street. Element. Yeah. He become a comedy element.
And everyone wants their pictures done with him, and at first he's like, what the? And he ends up loving it.
And then you had the remake, which they did back in, when I'm getting the thing up, 2010. Is that 15 years old already?
Yeah, sadly.
And you got Jackie Earl Haley, the guy who played Rorschach in Watchmen, playing Freddy Krueger. In this, they do turn him into a child molester as well as a child killer.
Right.
So he molests the kids before killing them, just to give him a real creepy vibe. And then, to be fair to Jake Earl Harley, he tried to go down that creepy vibe, not make Freddy a comedy act.
Yeah.
Make him creepy, make him, make your skin crawl. And he tries his best, but the movie around him is not just there. Even with the help of Clancy Brown.
Oh, legendary
Everyone
Clancy
loves Clancy
Brown.
Brown. But even those two, if you haven't got the movie around people like that, it just doesn't work.
No, at the end of the day, all story, innit? At the end of the day, an actor can only do so much with what he's given. It's like I remember saying to you earlier about turning lemons into fruit punch rather than lemonade. Yeah. So obviously fruit punch, you need more ingredients than lemonade. So, yeah. And, I mean, I enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street films. They're always a good crack up, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, I've got these box set in the house.
Yeah.
They're a fun laugh. If you just want to laugh, something stupid put that on. I usually plays, let's see how that person's going to die and why.
A good drinking game, if ever there was one.
Dangerous. And then we've got possibly the first horror movie, well, one of the first movies ever, Nosferatu. Which has recently been remade. Mm-hmm. So Nosferatu original was released 1922.
1922.
So it's 103 years old.
103.
Silent movie, obviously black and white.
Yeah.
Count Olaf is the villain because they couldn't use Dracula because of copyright stuff. And it's basically, it's maybe one of the first movies ever. Right up there. It's one of the first.
Well, this is it. And the difference between Dracula and Nosferatu is, I think, believe it or not, the main vampire in Salem's Lot is more like Nosferatu than Dracula any day. Next to the bald head, the two sharp teeth at the front.
It's been a while since I've seen Nosferatu. I've seen a lot of the classic black and whites, silent ones like Cabinet of Cagliostro and ones like that. These are silent ones, and you look at it and go, a lot of people, a lot of younger generations will look and go, what's that? That's rubbish. But you've got to look at it on the sort of, without this, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Well, exactly.
And especially a lot of the effects and stuff where his shadow comes up the stairs first before he does. I'm like, okay, I know there's probably special effects.
Could you imagine back then, in, 1920?
I'm trying to work out some of the effects and that.
How much that would have freaked people out.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, because they would not have... It was obviously reel-to-reel, like little pictures with a...
Give you night and day, right? So, 80s kids. 80s kids.
Immune to everything.
Well, no, you hit the trauma of Arctics in the Swamp of Sadness. The Wheelers from Return of Oz.
Oh, God, yeah.
The Gamork, the wolf thing from Neverending Story.
Them horrible things in the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, Skeksis.
Skeksis, that's...
Skeksis. These things freaked us out. This is when PG earned the parental guidance. The parental guidance rating was earned in the 80s. I've shown my boys these movies and like, you scared of this? And I'm like...
When you think about it, though, even when Thriller came out, that was, I mean, it would be one of the greatest albums of all time, but that was scary for back then, considering it was made a year after A Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, with the Rick Baker special
effects.
Which
is still, hands down, the best scene of somebody turning into a werewolf.
Or a sequel. You talk about that, the American Werewolf in
Paris. Oh, God.
Oh, dearie me. I remember going to the cinema seeing that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping for proper, like, the sort of special effects you get in the original one.
No.
Or practical effects, sorry, that you get in the original one. And it's like,
yeah.
It weren't fun.
No, and it had nothing to do with the original or anything.
Yeah, not
that's what winds me up.
Yeah, it wasn't connected in any way.
Well, here's another one. I don't know how this works. You remember the original Lost Boys?
Oh, yes. I've not seen any of the sequels. I refused to see the sequels.
I've watched half of one because I could only manage half of it.
Is that the one with
the first sequel, the second one?
Corey Taylor in it?
Corey Feldman.
Feldman, sorry.
Yeah, you got Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. It was the last one Corey Haim
Corey
did.
Taylor's the lead singer of Slipknot. What am I talking about? Too many Corys.
But it's set literally 20 years after the first one.
Right.
Or is it supposed to be immediately? I can't remember. But all of a sudden, it's like Corey Feldman obviously has aged because 20 years, 30 years has gone past. But in the original, they killed the main vampire, so all the half vampires, well, everyone
should have turned back to normal, right?
But there's more. It's like in the same place.
It depends. It's so many different vampires, so much different lore. Depending on the vampire, there's again supernatural.
It could be a coven. It could be
a coven. That was it.
Yeah, but why have the coven in the same area, Santa Carla, right? And not only that, the original movie is a classic. Now, if you haven't seen the original Lost Boys, my advice: watch it. It's on Netflix. It's very well worth a watch, okay? It's got a great soundtrack to go with it. It is.
It has, though most people like me will giggle at the sexy saxophone dude.
Oh, he was actually Tina Turner's saxophone player, wasn't he? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In, what was the song? Beyond Thunderdome that she did for Mad Max 3.
All right. Oh, yes.
We Don't Need Another Hero. You can see him swinging his hips in that as well, yeah.
Dude's built like a pro wrestler.
But
for a fact, 80s Brutus the Barber Beefcake and that saxophone player never seen in the same place at the same time. Right, so
fair enough.
Nosferatu, steering it back.
Right, go on.
So you got the remake with Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise.
Right.
In the It remakes, which we will come to. Maybe. And you've got Willem Dafoe in that, and you've got...
He's a great actor.
Johnny Depp's missus, isn't he? Not
which
his
one?
Missus, sorry, his daughter.
Oh.
His daughter, not his missus. And you've got...
Peaches, isn't it? His daughter?
I think so.
Peaches Depp, yeah, say it like that.
Hang on, I've got the list here.
I think her name's Peaches.
Yeah, something like that. And then you've got Nicholas Hoult, who's played Beast. He played Nux in Mad Max Fury Road. No, he's not in that. But yeah, I haven't actually had a chance to see it yet.
Yes.
But Weird Connection, there's technically a remake in between those two.
Right.
It's called Shadow of the Vampire.
Okay.
Stars Willem Dafoe again and John Malkovich. In this one, it's set round the making of the original Nosferatu.
Right. Give me that. I'll pass the drink. Go on, you can
Count
talk.
Olaf is an actual vampire. That's the joke. It's a bit of a comedy. That's the joke that they think Max von Schreck, who plays Count Olaf.
Do you know, you mentioned that name, and for some reason, because it's so similar to Max von... Is it Schneider? Yeah.
So Max von Schreck, who plays the original Count Olaf in the original 1922 movie, in this, he's played by Willem Dafoe, and they think he's just going method, basically. Obviously 1922, before method existed. But
right.
They think he's staying in the character, because he's constantly like this. And it's just, he's an actual vampire on the set of a movie where they're making about a vampire. It's really well done. It's funny. It's just brilliant. But the fact that when I saw the trailer for the recent Nosferatu, and I saw that I think Willem Dafoe's playing the Van Helsing type character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just started laughing. Something, you were in Shadow of the Vampire when you were actually playing the vampire.
I think that's supposed to be part of the gag.
Maybe.
For everyone that's...
Maybe. I mean, I doubt it. I mean, Willem Dafoe's a brilliant actor, so I doubt he would do one of those to the camera sort of thing.
I've got one for you.
All right.
Are you ready for this? And it's one that you haven't looked up, I bet you.
Probably not.
The Exorcist.
Oh, God.
And the new one that came out 2 years ago.
It's technically a sequel, isn't it? Because it has...
Yeah, it's supposed to be the same demon, isn't it? With the original mother.
Yeah, with the original mother. Because even in the trailer, again, another one I haven't yet seen. I need to get around to it.
It ain't that great. It really isn't great.
When the demon's in one of the girls, I think it's the white girl, because it's a white girl and a black girl.
Yeah.
In the white girl, she's like, hello, mother.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Mother.
yeah, mother. In Linda Blair's voice, I think, as well.
Linda Blair had nothing to do with that movie.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking they may have just sampled her voice or something.
I mean, that's a show. She might. I mean, obviously, it's been a hard thing for her being typecast to that movie. But you would have thought that when she made Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen,
is that technically a remake?
like,
is that a remake?
No, that's just a parody, isn't it? But when she did that, you'd think that would the fact that she's doing that she's okay with.
Yeah.
But I think it's because she's a good Christian woman, apparently, very God squaddy and everything else. So she might not have wanted to go down that road. Yes, she may.
Best running gag in that movie. Father may I.
Absolutely. Or where he actually enters the house and you hear, Maggie! And he's like, no, you know what, please don't get married.
It's talking of Exorcist parodies, just briefly, there's that one it's in one of the Scary Movies.
Oh, is that...
with James Wood.
Yeah.
He walks in and just sees it, sees the egg go around and he goes,
that's it, when she's sticking the tongue out, he's like... and he jumps on her. He's like, Father, what are you doing? But there was actually a skit on Saturday Night Live years ago with Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And they done an Exorcist parody. And Richard Pryor was like the young priest and you had the old one. And that was so funny. And it's like the possessed girl's there. And she's like, your mama's down here with us. You want to come say hi? He's like, what you said about my mama? My mama, no. My mama's a good My mama's a good girl. Yeah. And he ends up trying to punch you, and then the other one has to pull him up. It was quite funny. I did try and upload it on my other channel, but unfortunately SNL wouldn't let me.
No.
Copyright. I hate the copyright. So yeah, just quickly, guys. If you're not already aware, I do have another channel called Nudger's Reaction Channel. If you want to go and check that out, if you're listening to this on Spotify or any of the other broadcasting, like what's the word for them?
Other streaming
channels. That's it. Yes. Head over to YouTube and type in Nudger's Reaction Channel or @Space Nudger. Put that in the search bar, and you come up to it. So yeah, if you want to go in there, there's loads of music for you to have a listen to, and if you're kind enough, leave a subscription.
RoboCop.
Original, fantastic. Actually, 1 and 2. I'd actually put, because Peter Weller's in 2 as well.
Yes. Well,
it's only the third Weller.
Welker.
Oh, it's
Welker.
Weller.
It's Welker. I looked it up on
W-E-L-L-E-R. I swear it's
Welker. It's Peter Welker. Because
I thought you misspelled it when you sent that to me.
I was on IMDb checking all that out, man. Also had a couple of checks on other sources.
Oh, I forgot that. Honey rum.
So RoboCop, brilliant. Obviously satire of like capitalism and all the rest of it, and it's so good. Poor bloke, as we were talking about this earlier today. The toxic waste dude. Help me. Him. He has a knack of dying in impressive ways. Obviously, covered in toxic waste, melting away, fingertips coming off. That was gross.
It was brilliant practicals.
Brilliant, and then just gets wiped out, melon style across the front of the car, and then obviously the actor turns up in ER, as we were saying earlier.
Yeah,
gets his arm lopped off by a helicopter at one point, and then he has a helicopter fall on him. And that's how his character cops it, which is like good 2 ways to go out of.
Do you think his nickname in the film industry is Lucky?
And then you've got the recent remake, which
with Michael Keaton, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't knock the cast.
Well, I say recent. It was 2014. Well, I'll tell you how good the 2014 was. I can't even think who the bad guy was. I think it was Samuel Jackson and OCP. Or Michael Keaton and OCP. I'm not sure.
That's a good point, actually.
I don't. In the original, we know who the bad guy is: Clarence Boddicker and Jones, the vice president of OCP. Dick Jones.
Yeah,
they're the bad guys. We know they're the bad guys. Perfect.
And boy, does the geezer that play Clarence Boddicker do a good part.
Oh, aye.
I've always, and in case you haven't seen
Kurtwood Smith.
Now, if you're a fan of That 70s Show, he plays the dad in That 70s Show.
He's Clarence Boddicker to us.
Yeah, he'll always be Clarence Boddicker.
I think his first scene actually was where RoboCop brings him in, all bust up, and he just spits on the desk and goes, "Where's my goddamn phone call?"
Yeah.
Apparently that bit was improvised. Allegedly. I don't know how true that is, but
No, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
But yeah, he was such a good villain. But yeah, just so good.
With the 2014
I get what they were
RoboCop,
trying to do.
I think they concentrated too much on what he would actually look like.
Well, that's not the point of RoboCop, but also the second one was more of, I think at the time, obviously, Iraq, Afghanistan was still going. If Afghanistan was still going on, Iraq was happening, I think. But it was obviously the controversial use of drones was happening, and it was kind of a comment to that, which is fine. You can use that because obviously Paul Verhoeven, who directed 1 and 2, not 3. 3 is an abomination.
Right.
And it's about this far from the TV series. Do not go find the TV series of RoboCop. It's so bad. But it's Paul Verhoeven went obviously on and did Starship Troopers, which is a satire on the Nazis and fascism.
Really?
Yeah, the Starship Troopers. The humans are fascists.
I never got that.
You heard it here first, people.
The camera's up there.
You heard it here first, people. Yeah, it's all about it's the humans are fascists. Look at the way they do. It's straight.
Would you like to know more?
You can only be a citizen and get the right to vote if you join the military.
Pretty much how a lot of countries are going at the moment.
But yeah, it's a commentary on fascism. Paul Verhoeven he's Jewish and I want to say Dutch, or he's definitely from Europe, which was obviously invaded by the Nazis during World War II.
Yeah.
Don't know if he's Jewish. I could be wrong about that. But either way, he was still in a part of the world which was, invaded by Nazis. So
the part that's funny though is there's actually a Starship Troopers game that's not long come out, right? And is it Paul
it's not just Helldivers.
Helldivers 2 and Starship Troopers are two separate games, but Helldivers 2 is more like Starship Troopers than what the Starship Troopers game is. Sadly, because they wanted to get the guy that played Rico to be, or do at least a guest character for Helldivers. But unfortunately, he said in an interview that he couldn't because he was already contracted to do it for the Starship Troopers game.
And then Space Marine 2, which is, again, and just another, even more.
Well, even with Starship Troopers, the second one is CG. It ain't even real actors.
Oh, no, it's terrible. It's so bad.
Is
it called The Hero or something? I can't remember.
I think so.
And then Rico turns back up in the third one.
I didn't even know.
And you know the brain bug that they fight?
Yeah, the big fat brain bug.
In the third one, it's an entire freaking planet. I kid you not. It's an entire planet which they then just nuke. And for 40k fans out there, exterminators. They just nuke them. But yeah, it's so bad. They crack the planet to get rid of it. It's like, holy crap. Anyway, so back to RoboCop. Yeah, so the second one, not great.
No. Are you talking about the 2014 or the sequel?
2014.
Right.
2014 remake. So he's got a visor which flips up and down, really. And then you've got, obviously, the mouthpiece, which, the mouth has always been visible on RoboCop.
Yeah.
Then you've got the hand, which can then be blown off, shot, destroyed. Yeah. Even says in the original, when they're building him, he's like, we can leave an arm. No, everything.
Total.
Everything.
Well, it's total body prosthesis.
Yeah.
He says, so I lose the arm.
Literally, the only thing on Murphy in the original is his face. That's the only thing.
Which is actually the special effects that they do for that when he takes his helmet off, and you actually see just the outline of his face over that head. He's just really good because it looks, for then, which was the mid-80s, it looks fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, no? Which, I remember, don't do this, kids, at all, but I bunked off school and we used to go round to my mates and, we'd sit there, we used to sit and watch it.
Watching
and
movies
this was when I was like 9.
Yeah, watching 18 certificates.
Yeah, at 9 years
certificate
old.
movies at like 9, 10, 11 years
Yeah,
old.
why?
I
Why
saw
not?
American Werewolf in London way too young. The change scene in that terrified me. It really did.
Do you know what? The change scene didn't scare me. Do you know what bit scared me?
The
Was
Na-
where they
the
first
zombie
get jumped
Nazis.
at the beginning.
Oh, really? Where they get...
Or,
Not the zombie
where he's
Nazis.
asleep. No, not the zombie Nazi. Where he's asleep and he wakes up and he's got the blue
Oh, yeah.
face. It's like, what the fuck is that? You know, that used to freak me out quite a bit. I'll have to admit. But, again, the first one, very good movie. What's the geezer that plays his mate Jack? His name's Forrest something.
Forrest Whitaker?
No, it ain't, no, that's the black fella from Good Morning Vietnam,
Right.
big black dude. No, his name's Forrest something, and he does a really good job because I love how throughout the film he's decaying every time he turns up. There's less of him.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
Hello, David.
And Jenny Agutter was saying she'd be going into makeup, and there'd be the fella playing Jack at different stages of
Yeah.
decomp, and she'd be like, "Oh my god!"
The way they did it was brilliant because the guy that played Jack,
I think at the
I
end
remember him from a Michael Keaton movie called Johnny Dangerously, which is set back in the 1920s. He plays a gangster.
Huh. So, what's the name of the movie that they go to see? What's the name of the porno that they go to see in Soho at the end of the movie?
I didn't really pay that much attention to the name of it.
I did. It's called See You Next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Oh right, okay.
It's good. It's just that it doesn't exist. It's something Ivan Reitman just threw together for something that would be on in the background. Well, it was the early 80s London Soho area. So
It was always known for the red light.
red light district stuff
Well,
like
that was
that.
King's
let's
Cross mostly. King's Cross was the red light district.
Stick him in a porno theatre.
Yeah.
Towards the end, and the last thing, Jack at that point, I think he's an animatronic at that point, or
He's literally a skeleton.
He's practically an animatronic, just
Yeah.
a puppet basically. At the end,
Yeah. And at that
anyway.
point, he's got like 5 or 6 other people that Thingy Bob's killed.
Right, Dracula.
Right.
How many times has this been remade? Ignore Nosferatu. I know
Right, I've got to get comfy for this one.
So you've got the first version of Dracula as we know it from 1954.
Okay.
That is just over 70 years old now. Bela Lugosi.
Right.
Ah, the children of the night. What noise they make. What beautiful music they make. Or whatever the quote is. I'd probably misquote that.
Which is
horribly.
the Dracula that Nicolas Cage brings to life.
Yeah, in Renfield.
Yeah. Which actually I think is quite funny.
It's
good.
It's a good one. But yeah, it's. But that's kind of the standard. That's the bar set, and then you've got the Hammer horror versions with Chris Lee and Peter Cushing, which
Yeah.
absolutely love.
Dracula Prince of Darkness.
Peter Cushing running the length of that table and grabbing the curtains to pull the light in.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but it may not look most these days with the stunts, but Peter Cushing at that time, he was 50?
He was getting there.
He was getting it, and he runs the length of that table, which probably is slippy as
It's probably about a 15-foot long table.
slippy as out, and he does that dive. I don't know if that was him or a stunt double, but if that was Peter Cushing, fair play to you, my boy.
Well, even the whole Castle Dracula, that whole set was literally just 2 floors made of plywood. Because the Hammer Horror just didn't have the money, I don't think.
I mean, towards the end of Hammer Horror, I think Blumhouse owns Hammer Horror now. I could be wrong about that. Who produce a lot of horrors now, Blumhouse. But I think they own the Hammer Vault.
They might have
the Hammer
bought it.
Vault.
Yeah.
And they kind of might pull out something and remake it. That's why they might own it. I know some production company owns it, so they can remake them.
Right.
Like if they need money, because weird segue. The reason we wouldn't have the Lord of the Ring movies if it wasn't for Nightmare on Elm Street movies. New Line Cinema, the production company behind Lord of the Rings, nearly went bankrupt if it wasn't for the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Wow. How
Yeah,
about that?
the Nightmare on Elm Street movies apparently
Skip this way a little bit.
apparently
There you go.
kept them
going.
Kept them going, and obviously as they got more money in, they were able to produce bigger movies, stuff like that. and then they went down the.
Well, from what I was told, here's something not a lot of people will know. Not a lot of people will know this. Disney was on its arse in the mid '80s,
Couple of
right?
times.
Up until The Little Mermaid was released.
I think it's
The Little Mermaid is what's turned it around for Disney because from
I think there's been
there weren't a lot of Disney movies in the early '80s. If you remember, there weren't hardly any.
No. Well, there's stuff that they had their international stamp on, so you'd see at the end of the movie, Buena Vista.
They'd make films like Pete's Dragon. They did a lot of real life films. There was another one they made with a very young Kurt Russell called The Strongest Man in the Strongest Man.
Didn't they also do the Sneaker War tennis shoes?
I don't know.
Or the Computer War tennis shoes, sorry, the Computer War tennis shoes.
I know they did. See, I always know this movie as it was growing up. I knew it as The Spaceman and King Arthur, right? But if you look on Disney Plus, because it's on there now, it's called The Amazing Flying Oddball, or something stupid like that. And the whole premise of it is you've got this guy who works for NASA, who designs rockets and stuff, and they ask him to create an android. And he does. He creates this android. They're going to send this android up, because obviously they don't want to send a human up with this rocket.
Okay.
And somehow the engineer gets stuck in there with the android. It goes up, and somehow or another, he goes through space, and he ends up back in medieval England.
Right.
During the reign of King Arthur.
Fair enough.
So, and he comes down, he's wearing a spacesuit. Obviously, they think he's a big goblin because of the helmet. They think that's a big eye. But he gains the trust of the king and becomes friends and falls in love, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's films like that Disney was doing. They wasn't doing that many animated movies during the 80s up until The Little Mermaid. And that was only, apparently, that only got the okay. The same as Star Wars, only got the okay. Apparently, because Michael Eisner said so. Michael Eisner actually gave the go-ahead.
I think Lucas had taken it to quite a few
and everyone
studios,
told him no.
And then eventually 20th Century Fox went, yeah, go for it. And I can't remember which musician it was, or movie star or whatever. There might have been a musician who came out and said, you know, it sounds mad to say it, especially this day and age, but you need more of the fat studio producers with the cigar, the stereotypical fat studio producer with the cigar going, we might be able to make some money off of it. Go make it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, yeah, what the fuck? Let's try it. See what happens. And that, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
Star Wars, I don't think, I might be wrong for this, don't shoot me down in the comments, guys. Star Wars didn't gain popularity, as far as I know, until after The Empire Strikes Back. I think it was after that.
I think
the whole "No, I am your father." Because it's not Luke, I am your father. It's "No, I am your father."
Yeah, that's one of those.
So that's one of those.
Effects.
Yeah.
Good question. I'm trying to think myself.
I think it is.
I mean, obviously, New Hope did well enough for a sequel.
That was the mid-70s when it came out.
77.
70, was it?
77.
Was that the same year near enough then as Rocky?
Give or take.
That was, yeah.
77. Because then Alien was 79, because I know Alien is as old as me. Thank God they
You're an alien.
Obviously, there's plenty of sequels. And the bar Romulus, every other Alien sequel has been, bar Aliens, has been horrendous.
Alien 3, chuck it out.
Even the Prometheus stuff.
What did you think of
what was
the fourth Aliens movie?
What, Alien Resurrection?
Yeah.
Again, it had good people in it. It was just not a great.
Exactly. It had Ron Perlman in it and Winona Ryder. I ain't really thinking it, but it was a different way of going. She was an android.
It had Brad Dourif in it.
Yeah, true.
Who plays the voice of Chucky? He's the weird scientist that tries to French kiss a xenomorph at some point.
Oh yeah. Ugh. There's something wrong with the human race. There is.
Don't get me wrong. If we ever get out into the great beyond, we are either going to kill it or fuck it. Let's be honest. Those are the two options.
We'll either kill it, eat it, or hump it.
Yeah, sorry, 3 options. Those will be the 3 options.
As said by Dave Lister in Red Dwarf.
We either go down the Star Trek route, we try to explore, we gain new knowledge, gain new friends. Some of us try to be Kirk and Riker.
I know what you mean by that.
Or we go the Warhammer 40k route and just kill everything.
I'm going to guess, considering what humans are like, what we're like...
Oh, there's going to be.
It'll be a case of, right, we're here. It'll be my avatar. Oh, we found this rare element on your planet. We want it. Give us it or we're going to kill you.
Oh, you mean... Sorry, I sometimes I love doing this to Avatar fans. It is Ferngully, the last rainforest with blue people.
Yeah.
Plus, it's... Oh, sorry, Ferngully dances with wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, he becomes one of them, and then gets shit for it.
It is Ferngully and Dances with Wolves. We've seen the movie before, James Cameron. We know what you're doing. And now you're randomly nicking titles from the Avatar cartoon series.
Indeed he is, yeah. So I'm just making it a little bit more twinkly. Something I've seen in the camera. Oh, right.
So the first one isn't technically a movie. It's a 2-part miniseries.
Yeah, it's a made-for-TV miniseries.
Yeah. You've got, obviously, Tim Curry, who just chews on every bit of scenery in that.
Oh.
But we love Tim Curry. Can do no wrong. But that's where... the second one was all right. But as a few other people have pointed out, the second he turns up for Georgie in the remake, any kid would be like, nope, and gone. Because he's not funny. Tim Curry's clown is funny.
He's got there's an aura about him.
He's funny. You want to know what he's going to do next. And then he rips your face off. Bill Skarsgård, I'm like, yeah, you're just that, what's the American, John Wayne Gacy. Serial killer who dressed up as a clown. That's what you are, and I'm going that way. It wasn't, No,
I get you. I do get where you're going, yeah.
There was some good points about it, don't get me wrong. I mean, when she goes to the old house, her old house, and the old lady's there, and then the old lady disappears into the kitchen, the camera's holding on that kitchen, and I'm sat in the cinema going, I know something's going to come out of there. I know what's going to come out. I'm preparing myself for the jump scare. But it comes, and I get jumped anyway. Because even though I knew it was coming, it was what came out of the darkness that got me. It was like, holy shit, what is that? So it got me. But other than that, that was like one good jump scare. But other than that, it was like, I knew most of the beats.
Well, this is it, isn't it? And... Again, Tim Curry, not the first horror movie. Well, I say horror. He was the devil in Legend.
Oh, Legend. That wasn't really a horror movie.
No, but
that's a Ridley Scott movie, by the way.
That's true. Yeah.
Tom Cruise in
he done well in
his first movie.
Yeah, young Tom Cruise.
Before he had his teeth corrected. Before
Scientology, maybe.
Before Scientology got hold of him.
Because I think after that, it was Risky Business, wasn't it? That's what propelled him. He done Risky Business, then Top Gun, then Cocktail.
Barreled on from there.
Yeah, it just went on and on and on.
No, I won't ask it. It's a weird side view.
What?
Apparently, I don't know how true this is. Don't come for me, Scientologists. Don't come for me, Scientologists. You might be, if you are one, you might be able to answer this question. I heard that Scientologists, or Scientology should I say, basically record every copy of L. Ron Hubbard's works. Every copy. I don't know how many books that is worldwide, but they basically got all of them. Which is why you can't get hold of an L. Ron Hubbard science fiction novel.
Okay.
I might be just one of those tinfoil hats conspiracy ones. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is.
I don't either, so it's possible. It is possible.
But yeah, it's. I mean, now obviously Tim Curry. You've got. He was in 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Daughter.
That wasn't Tim Curry.
No. The one of the other people in it.
Oh, John Ritter.
John Ritter, that's
The late, great John Ritter, yeah.
And you
He was known for...
also got John Boy from the Waltons in it.
Yep.
Whose name escapes me. But, yeah, you say John Boy from the Waltons, and most people know who he is.
Yeah.
Poor bloke.
Typecast.
I think the lass in it, the woman, the girl, the woman.
Oh, when you see her when she's older, she's in loads of things.
Yeah, and I just can't think who she's in. It does me in.
No, I get what you mean. But yeah, and again, I mean, obviously, because it was made for TV, it wasn't exactly as what it says in the book, because what happens at the end...
Oh, yeah. I think both made the clever decision of leaving that bit out of the book.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go read the book and be horrified. Mind you, be fair to Stephen King, he was on a lot of drugs.
Yes, and drink. Yes, he done a lot of cocaine and a lot of scotch. And that, believe it or not, when he cleaned his act up...
Self-confessed, by the way.
Yeah, when he cleaned his act up, that's funny enough, when his book's got shit.
When was the last Stephen King book I read? I honestly can't remember.
The last time I see him was he appears in an episode of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, God.
As like a cleaner, where they... Because they go to...
Is that the same cleaner from the Creep Show movie where he's like...
No, not quite. No, he comes in very quiet, very solemn.
Weird plant man.
Looks a bit weird, but... And he's like, right, I'm going to need da-da-da-da-da and 80s music. And they're like, right, okay, it's Katie Seagull from Married with Children and Eight Simple Rules. It's supposed to be her dad's housekeeper that she kills. So, and he's there to get rid of the body. So, and then afterwards they're like, we ain't got enough money to pay you. He's like, he just looks around and he's like, take this. He takes a vase, he takes a statue. He's like, this will do. And he just walks off. But I think it was written in that the only reason he'd do it would be if he could ride his bike. You could get on scene of him turning up on his motorbike, which he did.
I'm trying to think of other remakes. There's loads out there.
Oh, yeah.
Generally, I mean, I'm trying to think of good remakes.
Oh, here's one for you.
Upon.
Total Recall.
Oh, I prefer the original.
Yeah.
The Colin F. and Farrell one is not great.
No.
I think it's closer to the book, the Philip K. Dick book.
Well, I did hear you saying about that because Running Man was from a book, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stephen King book, but under his pseudonym, which is Roger or Robert something.
Well, I have heard that there's another version of that coming. So it's like, oh dear God.
Last thing, I mean, I kind of get some movies. What they should, instead of remaking good movies, because they keep threatening to remake Princess Bride. Don't.
No,
do it.
don't.
Don't do
no.
it.
No.
Don't.
Bad.
Hollywood needs to take movies that bombed, but that had good ideas and remake them.
Yeah.
Yeah, ones that had good ideas and remake them. That's a good idea. Let's go with that.
I remember when back in mid 2000, I say mid, when was it? 2012, 2013, around that era. There was a movie that was made, and it was called The Seventh Son. Right, and this movie was made, and it was shelved because one company who was going to distribute it didn't, and then it was supposed to go to another company. It didn't. But it got passed up, and it was literally about 10 years before this film was released. And it was actually a really good film.
Remakes that would never happen.
We hope never happen.
Well, one that has been stuck, and by most people's standards, rightfully so, in pre-production hell forever, is the Akira remake.
Oh,
we're going to go into live action remakes here. Flame war. Most of them are not needed. They really are. No one's asked for them.
No.
No one's asked for them.
No. I mean, I'm even down to me, they even fucked up Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, didn't they just?
Nothing. Yeah. Don't get me. Nothing bad to Scarlett Johansson, right? I mean, she was coming straight off of the Black Widow character.
I understand why they put her in.
But there is so many better people who have been suitable for that major.
I mean, I don't know how she could. I don't know what her English is like. But because I know she couldn't speak a word when she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is Ji Zhang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She plays the lass who nicks the Green Destiny sword.
She's brilliant.
She would have been brilliant in it.
She was in Rush Hour 3.
Yes, she was. There's plenty of other, Asian and for our American friends who might be watching, Far East Asian. So there's plenty of actresses of Japanese descent, Chinese descent, Malaysian descent, all the rest of it.
That look good and they can kick ass.
I'm trying to think. What's her name? I can't think of her name, but she's in Hawaii Five-0. She would have been great. I think she would have done a really good job. I can't think of the actress's name. I do apologise.
Well, it's not even the is it Kusanagi, isn't it? Major, always known as the Major.
Yeah, the Major.
Right. I mean, I ain't getting her characters, but even with like Butto, that character, the blonde guy who had the eyes.
Yeah, I thought he looked all right actually.
I would have. Do you know who I'd cast for that? Who was absolutely spot on? Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman's used to putting crap on himself. Let's be honest.
But that part, I think, would have. He's Ron Perlman. I think he could have done.
I thought he was all right, the person playing that. But yeah. So, but yeah, the Akira remake has been stuck in pre-production hell forever. There's been rumours of it, but no one wants it. It's like the original is perfect.
There's nothing wrong with that manga. Yeah,
leave it alone.
That's like if they tried to do a live action, like say Vampire Hunter D. That it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
No, a lot of things are perfect for the medium they're in.
Exactly, especially when it comes to anime and manga. Yeah,
animation stuff in general. The trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
Even the little series in between it, that's set in between the movies, is really good. And there's no need for it. No one wanted it. There was no need for it. I'm not getting into the whole thing around the casting of whoever for whatever character.
No.
Because, end of the day, they're fantasy characters. Anyone should be able to play it. But it's when the movie's not needed. Oh, we're going to remake this. Why? The original's fine.
Yeah, it's
the original's fine the way it is.
The first one was the live action Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it? They had to make it literally side by side, spot on with the cartoon, right?
With Ewan McGregor doing a French accent because he was Lumiere. Well, his missus is French.
Yeah.
So he's around it, but
he's Scottish.
They could have got a French person to play that role. But it was actually the guy in the original. It's the guy from Law and Order, the old fella.
Okay.
Anyway, random side note. But again, it wasn't really needed.
No.
It wasn't needed. Don't get me wrong, Emma Watson should have got an Oscar for not pissing herself laughing at the dude in the suit the entire time. If you ever did you see the picture of him?
Yeah.
In the full green body condom with all the pillows in it. How she didn't wet herself laughing.
She must have the first couple of times she see it.
But yeah. It wasn't needed. A lot of these remakes are just not needed. They're cash cows. They're cash grabs. That's what they are.
Yeah,
they're saying the Lion King stuff is live action. It's not. It's CG. Yeah. It's all CG animation. It's still animation.
This is it. You can't teach a lion to talk.
Just a different way.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I mean, right. Remakes. Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. Do you remember the one from the 80s on... It was either on ITV or BBC?
Yeah.
And they had the animatronic puppet lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puppet Aslan. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, and then obviously you got the remake.
BBC, yeah.
You got the remake.
Narnia.
The Lion, Witch and Wardrobe ones with who was in it? What's his name? It's going to do my head in now. Obviously Liam Neeson does the voice of Aslan. You've got Tilda Swinton as the White Queen, Witch Queen,
Snow Queen.
Snow Queen, whatever she is.
Yeah.
And you've got young Professor Xavier, James McAvoy, as the Fawn.
Oh, right, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Mr. Tumless, that was it. I couldn't think of the name. Going through the file of facts in my brain of names. And Dawn French and Ray Winston as the Beaver couple. The Beaver.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. But, yeah, you say, is it true, right, that the 4 kids in that, have you heard it? Like the thing behind it is supposed to be they was actually the ones that came up with the 4 houses in Harry Potter.
I've heard that theory. Yeah, I've heard that sort of theory that they are
the Hufflepuff,
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Helga Hufflepuff, Salazar Slytherin, Godric Gryffindor and
Ravenclaw.
Rowan Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the first name so the Harry Potter mob wouldn't come and get us.
It would make sense, though.
I mean, it's a good fan theory. We could talk about that another time. Fan
Yeah.
theories. Because there's the whole Pixar theory. And that's a rabbit hole. That is a rabbit hole. Well, no, not just the Pixar one. It's the general Disney one. How Tarzan is actually the heir to Arendelle, the Frozen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because his parents are Anna's and Elsa's parents.
Yeah, that's it. Who die in the...
And obviously, because it's medieval times, males inherited.
Yeah. True, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. And there's loads of other ones. I mean, they was doing...
So it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole.
We can go down that in another one. Because there's just Easter eggs upon Easter eggs in every Pixar movie.
Just about. I mean, not just Pixar, Disney ones. Hercules is wearing a scar.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, there's one I've heard that they might be doing a live-action remake of, Hercules. James Woods is going to redo Hades.
He was brilliant
because
as Hades.
He is Hades. Every time you've heard Hades from the Hercules movies voice in something, whether that be the Kingdom Heart games, the House and Mouse cartoon, which was actually quite good.
I remember the Kingdom Heart games.
It's James Wood.
Yeah.
Who based it off of his agent, or an agent he knew.
You gotta hold it. Hey.
But yeah, I mean, they're not really... there's no remakes that I can think of now. My brain's gone dead.
Really?
There's loads, but I can't think of any that jump in front of my head.
Wow.
Come on.
All right. You want some remakes?
It's your channel.
Yeah, I know it's my channel. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, we've covered quite a few, but
Halloween. We forgot Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's true. There's been a few of them.
So obviously, original John Carpenter with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and Donald Pleasence.
Yeah, he played the psychiatrist that was on the lookout for.
I shot him 6 times. Obviously, you got that one. And then you've got, obviously, we're not looking at the most recent Halloween movies because they're technically sequels.
Yeah.
But...
let's do another.
Yeah, they're technically sequels, but I'm talking about the Rob Zombie remakes, which...
Don't mention the fucking the monsters, will you?
Well, no, I'm not even...
For somebody who is such a huge fan of the TV show, how can he... bollocks it up so badly? I think that's the only way of putting it.
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously his take on it, but when people do their take on it, they generally get it wrong. Not always.
I mean, even no one's bothered touch with the Addams Family for a while.
No, what are you talking about?
Not since Raoul Julia.
No, the animated stuff. The animated movies.
The animated movies is fine.
And then you've got the TV series on Netflix. Wednesday.
That's a spin-off.
Which is not animated.
Yes,
it's a spin-off. Okay, that's not included.
That's a spin-off, so that's not really allowed. Did you know?
Did we know?
In the original Addams Family, you had Thing, who had scoped across. Do you know whose arm and hand that was?
Bruce Campbell's. Ash Williams.
No. Although I've heard that theory. I've heard that theory as well. No. It was actually the guy that played the butler. Lurch. When he wasn't in shot, it was his arm and hand. When it used to come out of the box, that was him. Because obviously the length, he had long arms, so he was able to do it. But for other shots, if he was in shot, obviously...
that bloke got a lot of work as just silent person, because he turned up a lot in at least one episode of the original Star Trek series.
Yeah, he was in that.
I think he turns up in TNG as well. No, that was the newer Lurch. From the Raoul Julia series.
No, but he done quite a lot. He had a lot of health problems though. So it
usually guys who get to that size
he was about 7 foot something, wasn't he?
Up there, he's 6, definitely in the high 6 foot.
I think even back in the 70s and the 80s, even obviously actor would take any paid job, obviously to support his family, but he was promoting like Winston cigarettes out there and Marlboro and So
You have to be smoking like a chimney all the bloody time.
I think back then it was quite
Part
acceptable.
course.
Yeah, basically. Apart from there was actually a few actors who started off as really thingy smokers, but towards the end of it, like they actually was thingying against it.
We obviously talked about one rabbit hole we can go down with animation movies and how they're all connected. Another one I just thought of top of my brain for another episode, maybe another day.
Yeah.
Just you saying that is big movie stars who got their breaks in bad movies.
Okay.
I say breaks, but they're possibly one of the first things you might have seen them in. Mentioned it earlier, Lawrence Fishburne. Obviously, he was in Apocalypse Now, but after that, the next thing that's probably
He was only 16.
he was too young. He was too young.
He lied.
But then obviously he was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun.
As George Clooney was in Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Return of Killer Tomatoes.
That one.
That's a B movie. Do you remember?
Obviously, we said Kevin Bacon in the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So we could go down that route.
I've got a cheesy movie I've got to mention.
Okay.
Sorry, because you love your cheesy horror movies. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That is hilarious. When they do the dinosaur shadow puppet and it eats the people. Oh.
What are you going to do? You're going to knock my block off?
Knocks his block off.
And into the bin. You actually hear ding!
It's such a stupid movie. It's brilliant. I love it.
There was actually supposed to be a game that they're creating.
Sounds about right.
For that, but it's been in production for a couple of years now, so whether it'll get done, I don't know. But I'd actually like to play it. I think that'd be interesting because you can customise and make your own killer clown. And you go out into the town and you've got to capture them using the cotton candy, drag them back, and then drink them.
It's such a bad movie. I love it.
I might have to watch that.
I heard. I don't know if I saw. I don't know if it was a fan-made trailer or if it was just a random trailer that I saw. But so you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tremors movies.
Mm-hmm.
First one, brilliant. Love the first one.
Tremors.
2, yeah. 2 is good. 2's good, and they kind of. I mean, they're fine, but they follow Bert, and we like Bert.
Yeah, well,
But they kind of go off a cliff after that. There was, I heard, I don't know whether it was a rumour, a remake where Kevin Bacon, still as Valentine, goes back to perfection.
Well,
set God knows how many years after, but he goes back to perfection.
Well, unfortunately, his co-actor with that was Fred Ward.
Yeah,
was it Fred Ward?
I know you mean.
Fred Ward. Yes, sorry.
80s action star for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was Fred Ward. I was getting him and Fred Savage mixed up in my head. So Fred Ward, who was in the second one. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago.
No, we just showed Val turning up.
Right.
I don't know. Might have been a fever dream for all I know. But I swear I saw something like a fan-made trailer or something.
Possibly. They do a lot of them now. I mean, even I've seen so many for Terminator 7. It's like,
well,
really?
no, sometimes the fan-made stuff is really good.
I mean, I did hear John Cena was supposed to be in a Terminator movie.
Yeah, I heard that.
For his current heel run.
Oh, we missed a remake. Conan.
How can we forget Conan?
You mentioning John Cena made me think of wrestling. There was that rumor going around that Triple H was going to be the new Conan at some point, and that then.
Do you know what? Back in the day, say 20 years ago, I would have actually put Triple H as the perfect He-Man.
Yeah, and that's getting redone. Isn't there going to be a new Masters of the Universe or something?
Yeah, apparently so. And the thing is, though,
Jared Leto's going to be Skeletor. Oh God, if that's anything like the Joker.
All I can say is with that, the guy that done the original voice of Skeletor is still alive.
Yeah.
If they're going to get Jared Leto, just get him do the acting. Let the original guy do the voice because it wasn't the only voice that he did. But from the looks of the cast so far, I'm sorry. I mean, Idris Elba is a good actor.
Who's he in it?
He's playing Man at Arms.
Okay. No, that's fine. I don't mind that.
Then there's a Latino lady playing Tila.
Right, fine.
And the woman who plays Deadpool's girlfriend.
Oh yes.
She's playing supposedly.
Evelyn.
No,
Sorceress.
no, sorceress. So yeah, how does that mix? All right, fair enough. It's a movie. You can do
It's a movie.
But they're supposed to have. I think so far the good guys on He-Man's side, the ones that have been cast so far, as far as I'm aware,
Please tell me they've got Fisto, because the jokes there are just brilliant.
They have Fisto. I think it's Stratos and Ram Man.
Ram Man and Fisto.
But they haven't got... The only one they're doing so far for Skeletor is Evil Lyn and Trapjaw. But they're not doing the two people who was in near enough every episode, which was Beastman
Yeah.
and Merman.
Yeah.
Or Cyclops.
Triclops.
Yeah, sorry. But they're not even... I don't know if they're going to do it CG, closer to release date, but there's been no mention of Cringer
The only way
or
they're
Battle
gonna,
Cat.
the only way they're going to get that to work, that movie to work, is if they make it as camp as the TV show.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but come on.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the fact that if they do it without having Cringer in it, I'm going to be very upset.
The Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren did
Forget
that.
that wasn't even based on Eternia. Come on, that was crap.
It was in Eternia.
No, with CG, if they...
I liked that movie.
Oh, no, but even now, with AI and CG, they can actually have Orko,
Oh, God.
and they could do Cringer into Battle Cat very easily. I mean, if they could have Jon Snow riding a dragon...
I'm sorry, but Frank Magella as Skeletor, he's my Skeletor. I thought he was brilliant. He just went, scenery. Oh.
He was good, wasn't
It was so good.
he? He was good.
It was so good. It's like, yeah, I know what this... It's like Raul Julia in the Street Fighter movie. I know this is a piece of shit. I'm just going to chew everything. I'm just going to chew everything and have fun. And he's the best bit of that entire movie.
Where he does that legendary speech about Bisonopolis. And
Was it the
Zangief
one he
at
does
the
to
end.
Chun-Li? Is it when Bison came to your village, it was a life-changing event. For me, it was another Tuesday. And it's like, love it. No, yeah. So the Conan remakes, obviously the original.
Yeah.
Arnold.
And right.
Who played here? You got
What, the magician?
Magician from it who
Mako.
Mako, thank you. He was also the voice of Aku long ago.
Yeah.
In our distant land. I love that series. I love Samurai Jack. But yeah, he was in the first one, and then you've got don't know why they didn't bring his little archer friend back for the second one. I liked him.
Oh, the thief who kept eating all the diamonds and stuff like that.
No. The little in the first one, in Conan the Barbarian,
Right.
after he gets his leg over the weird witch woman,
Oh, right, yeah.
he meets the
thief.
archer dude. Yeah, no, not the thief from the second one.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting
He
confused.
meets his
right,
his new friend, the archer dude,
Okay, yeah.
whose name I don't think he even gets a name. Probably does.
Probably.
Again, answers in the comments. But the archer dude, I thought he was really good. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't bring back the second one. But the second one, apparently Arnold didn't enjoy the second one. It wasn't Conan really for him. It wasn't as adult or as
But he got to fight with Bomber Pat Roach.
Yeah.
Good old Pat Roach.
He was meant to be in Last Crusade, but I think he was too ill at that point.
Oh.
Yeah, he was meant to be in Last Crusade. Spielberg wanted to use him again for Last Crusade.
Was like 89.
Yeah, he was too old and he was too ill at the time, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he was too ill. He wanted to be because that was just Spielberg. He liked using Bomber.
Yeah.
I think because Bomber choreographed the fights in Temple of Doom and in especially in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because he's ex-professional wrestler. So and I think he choreographed the fight between him and Arnold in Conan the Destroyer. Might be corrected on that, but I don't.
No, I think that was
because it's a wrestling match. Watch that fight; it's a wrestling match.
Yeah, that's all Bomber. You know it is.
But anyway, yeah, the Conan movie, the original one, brilliant, love it, absolutely. Conan the Destroyer, it's all right. But the Jason Momoa movie, it was all right. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
It was.
Ron Perlman plays his dad.
Yeah, I mean, Ron Perlman done a brilliant job in the beginning of that play.
Oh yeah, but as like the northern people,
yeah. It was actually
the
really,
Sumerians
really
are a
good.
northern, almost Viking tribe.
But
kind
I
of
think
thing.
that was Jason Momoa. That was his first feature film, straight after Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think so. That was
So they killed him off in Game of Thrones,
and stuck him straight in that.
and he didn't have a lot of star power.
No,
He actually struggled to get work. So that's him saying that, apparently.
but
So,
no, it was all right for what it was.
Then they remade it again with The Rock.
Did they?
Yeah, they made.
I didn't see
I
that.
swear.
No, you're thinking of the Scorpion King.
No, The Rock done the Scorpion King. Did he do Hercules?
He did Hercules with Ian McShane
Right.
as the guy who knew when he was going to die, and he does that best scene in the movie where he just stands like that, and all the arrows are raining down, and everyone misses him. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's been a couple of Hercules movies.
This is Conan.
Oh, sorry, Conan. My mistake.
We were talking about Conan, right? We were talking about
Yes,
Conan.
she's talking about Conan. My mistake. Sorry, my brain just.
No, Hercules movies. Obviously, the original one, again, Arnold, with his voice dubbed. It's not wrong. Not hearing the Arnold voice.
Yeah.
It's just a random American voice and it just doesn't sound right. And then Lou Ferrigno was in a Hercules movie.
Yeah.
Where it's the only bit I've seen. Might have seen it as a meme, I don't know. But he has the chariot, him and this buxom woman, scantily clad, led the bikini job, as you know, as those sort of movies were, let's be honest. They've got this chariot, she's stood in this chariot, he gets this chain, he ties it to a big rock, or it's already tied to a big rock, he woofs it around his head, lobs it, the chariot goes, he jumps on, and away they go through the stars, and you're like, what? But then obviously you've got the animated movie, which we've already talked about. James Wood is possibly the best part of that movie, though Danny DeVito comes in a close second.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's Philatites. I think I've heard he might be reprising the role in
Might
the live action.
It might be his voice.
His voice depends how they're going to do it. He's probably, if he's going to be playing a faun or a satyr. Greek myth people, don't come at me. He's going to be playing a satyr, called a satyr, or Philatites. He might be CG'd with his face, so it might be some weird uncanny valley Danny DeVito satyr, which is a horrifying movie villain if you think about it. That'd be a horrifying movie.
Well, it's like him as the penguin. Yeah, no, he was quite horrifying as that. He was good as penguin,
so
but
good. Or we could get to Batman. Batman, because that's been remade a few times. Not just the TV shows, but as movies
Michelle
as well.
Pfeiffer with a whip.
She can still do that.
I know.
Or she could still. She probably can still do that. I love Michelle. Sorry, wifey. I do. I still love Michelle. It's been a crush since I saw that. I think that was the first movie with a 12 rating as well.
No, the original Batman.
Original Batman one. That was what I was saying. The first one was a 12 rating.
Yeah.
First 12 rating.
Over here, anyway. Yeah. Over here it was.
Don't know what it was in America. Probably PG 13, 15, whatever it is. But yeah, where was I? Batman. Yeah, so Batman. Obviously, you got the Batman movie with Adam West. Yeah.
The classic.
Just one of those days we just can't get rid of a bomb.
Shark repellent bat spray.
Yeah, that one. Who was? I think it's Julie Newmar as Catwoman in that one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because Catwoman changed. Sometimes it was Earth Kitt. Sometimes it's Julie Newmar. I think it was the third actress whose name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah.
Frank Gorshin is the Riddler.
Caesar Romero as the Joker, and Burgess Meredith as the Penguin.
Now, I could be wrong about this, but go and watch Batman Forever with Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne, Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Jim Carrey's Riddler. I'm sorry, that's Frank Gorshin's Riddler.
Yeah.
I may be wrong. He's just ripping off.
Yeah.
Or he's doing his version, should I say, an homage, whatever you want to call it, to Frank Gorshin's Riddler.
Probably.
That's more or less what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you've obviously got Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
Is the remake. Kevin Conroy is my Batman. Rest in peace. Michael Keaton, Kevin Conroy, but you got Keaton's Batman, Jack Nicholson's. That's the next remake after the Batman movie with Adam West. Then you've got Robert Pattinson's The Batman.
Well, did you know in the first Batman movie, before it was offered to Jack Nicholson, it was the part of the Joker.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Robin Williams. If Jack turned it down, Robin Williams was going to get it.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
That would have been, but I think they needed Nicholson for the star power, and they kind of got him.
Yeah.
And basically they said, look, you're a bad guy who's insane. You can do whatever the hell. Yeah.
Well, it's just Nicholson, basically, just being himself, I think.
But yeah, and then you got the, as I say, the Robert Pattinson one, which I liked. I liked that movie. I enjoyed that movie.
What, the latest one?
Yeah, the most recent one.
Which was kind of almost like a Saw detective type.
Well, detective movie, which again he's meant to be the world's greatest detective.
Yes, but the way, because it was the Riddler. The bad guy in that is the Riddler.
Yes.
And instead of it actually being it was almost like Saw, almost like Kevin Spacey's character in Seven.
Well, again, we're going back to theories. So, there's a theory I read, and I kind of like this as a headcanon. The movie in Seven is never named. It's not LA, it's not Chicago, it's not New Jersey, it's not New York.
Right.
It's not, any of them, it's not Miami,
None
whatever.
of the cities. Yeah.
None of those cities. It's an unnamed city. The police force are an unnamed police force. Sorry, I rocked the table then.
Okay.
There's a theory, headcanon, whatever you want to call it, going around where they say that is Gotham before Batman turns up. And John Doe, who Kevin Spacey plays, is the first supervillain.
I could see that. So why
And
Bruce
I kind
Wayne,
of like that.
because Bruce, technically, if you go by the law
Timeline.
of Batman timer, Bruce Wayne disappears for 10 years.
Something like that, yeah. Say he disappears at 16 to 18, somewhere between 16 and 18 years old, disappears, goes around the world learning different martial arts, escape techniques.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul and all that, isn't it?
All the rest of it.
Yeah.
In those 10 years, what the hell is going on in Gotham? Because we know Gotham's a pile.
A madhouse.
Madhouse. And there's that theory, and I kind of like that. I don't know where I read it, but it's a good theory that city, as I say, I believe it's unnamed, is Gotham.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Anyway, so you've got all those Batman, and then obviously you've had all the TV series and cartoons in between it. But yeah, that's been remade a fair few times. Superman's been remade.
Yeah, and it's currently got another one on the way.
Yeah, another one on the way, which interesting trailer. Don't know what the big monster is. I'm trying to search my DC brain.
Well, it's not just Superman in that movie.
No, you've got Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, you've got Mr. Terrific.
Crypto.
You've got Crypto. Fine, first time we've seen Crypto
Yeah, it makes
properly.
change.
Not sure who he's fighting in the stadium. Someone obviously super strong, but I'm trying to
Well,
think who the hell that
in the
is.
trailer, when you see it, he's actually beaten bloody and he's wheezing where he's laying down.
Yeah,
and
that's
that doesn't happen to Superman. So what the hell?
It does, more often than you would think. So, Justice League, the JLA cartoon and the Justice League Unlimited cartoons showed this. The Superman cartoon showed this, and a few other things have shown this, where Supes, when he comes up against someone who is of near to or equal strength, gets his ass handed to him more often than not, whether it be Lobo, Mongo,
Doomsday.
Doomsday, gets his ass handed to him, which is why Batman, Diana, and all the rest of it said, learn martial arts.
Right.
Learn martial arts so you can deal with these people. So that when you have no powers, because that obviously happens, you can deal with these people and you can look after yourself.
Right.
Anyway, sidetracked.
Superman.
But yeah, Superman's been remade several times.
Yeah.
Again, Man of Steel, that's my phone. Man of Steel was alright.
I think that was more designed for the ladies.
I don't know.
Henry Cavill, no top on, every girl's wet dream. Or a lot of them.
And a few guys, let's be honest.
Whatever floats your boat, mate. I don't know.
A few guys, to be honest.
Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot done all right for me.
But I think that's the only Wonder Woman movie, actually. I think more superhero movies would be remade quite often, but no.
Just costs them so much money.
Well, yeah, there's that as
And
well.
unfortunately, DC has always... It's just fallen flat on its face with all their movies compared to fucking Marvel.
Another Disney acquisition.
Yeah, no. But when you go back, one of the first Marvel movies was actually, are you ready for this? Back in the 1980s, Howard the Duck.
Well, you could go back further than that, because the first big superhero movie was Christopher Reeve Superman, 78.
Yeah, that's DC. I'm on about Marvel.
Marvel. You had...
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man probably before him, but...
You had, well, those were made for TV movies. Do you remember those? Do you remember those? It was not great. They weren't great. The made for TV movies, Spider-Man, they weren't great. The guy playing Peter Parker, he's meant to be like a kid, late teens maybe. This guy looked like in his 20s.
Yeah, they did.
Looked like he was
They
in
did
his
miscast. They did miscast
20s. Looked like he was in his 20s.
on that one, without a doubt.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other remakes. Running out of remakes? I'm not running out. There's loads. But
No, there is absolutely so many out there. This is the problem. Exactly. I mean, to be honest, I think that might be a good time to end it. We've gone just past an hour. Oh, we're up to an hour and 25 minutes, which I think is brilliant.
More than enough.
Right, just quickly, Mike, give the guys a quick rundown of what you'd be talking about during your car insurance.
Well, it's not car insurance. It's
customer service.
Customer service. So I have been working in customer service call centres for 20 years on and off, maybe a bit more. So if you want to know the best way to talk to and deal with customer service, tune in. If you want the best result out of the conversation you have, because it's something we have to do daily. Everyone has to deal with customer service at some point.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things that we now have to deal with. Listen to this. There's going to be he's going to be asking a load of questions, and I'm going to be basically giving answers. Best way to talk to and deal with customer service. Yes, you're paying the company for a service, but if you want the best out of customer service and out of the person you're talking to, there are ways to talk to them.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, obviously, we'll go more in depth with that on the podcast when we do talk about it. When you're ready. Right, guys, my next podcast, believe it or not, it's going to be a wrestling podcast, because I will be doing summing up on Monday. I'll be summing up Monday Night Raw, because that's actually coming from London.
Is it?
Yeah, it's at the O2. So I'll be doing a podcast on that.
He's going to be bringing... Well, I know he's talking to the mayor. Said he can't really about possibly bringing Mania or a big event over there.
Oh, right, okay. That'll be interesting. But I'll also, because I'm going to start doing it, the build-up, WrestleMania's in, 2 weeks?
If that.
So, yeah, and I'll be doing either a live podcast with that one on YouTube, or I'll just be doing kind of live. I'll be watching it, and I'll just be talking about it as it happens, and then upload it straight after.
I won't be able to do that.
So on a Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully that'll be decent. But those are some upcoming podcasts. But once again, guys, on Monday, I'm going to hopefully be talking... sorry, not Monday.
Tuesday.
I've got a friend of mine called Mark, who is going to be talking with me about ancient civilizations and...
Aliens.
Not so much aliens. But I suppose back then, maybe we could have been like, what was there?
Oh, don't go down that rabbit hole. Don't go down
different
that
DNA? No, I'm not going to say aliens from a different planet, but maybe they had one or two little bits of DNA different. Which is why they was able to create things that we still can't do now. So it's just a conversation anyway, different conversation. So
just don't end up going down the Alex Jones route.
He went completely gaga, didn't he?
That's one of them.
And he's got to pay out billions.
It's don't know about billions, but definitely millions.
It's like ridiculous. But anyway, he's a different story. We're not talking about him. But if you want to listen in, guys, make sure to tune in on Monday, and I will catch you then. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-da.